There was no attempt in humor at all in what he said. And as a matter of fact, it was a lie. Now, as you pointed to, Will, since the 1960s, you have to get a license to broadcast. This isn't Netflix. This isn't cable. This is broadcast TV. And when you have broadcast TV, you have to, the airwaves are owned by the public.
They think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues. That's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And you know, strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people, and I don't think you should as an editor.
Strap in. This takedown is one for the ages. Rob Schneider just dove headfirst into the Jimmy Kimmel controversy, and his response was nothing short of brutal. Rather than offering support, the comedy veteran dropped a series of scathing punches aimed directly at late-night TV's left-leaning poster boy after his firing from ABC. The woke crowd never saw it coming. They figured Rob, being a fellow comedian, would back Kimmel. Instead, he delivered a comedic smackdown that left jaws on the floor. No sugarcoating, no sympathy, just straight-up fire.
It's great to see you here today. Are you chilled? Are you in fear for the future of comedy and free speech?
Well, Will, first of all, I woke up this morning to the incredible shock that apparently TV shows are not guaranteed in our Constitution. I mean, wow. So that was tough to swallow.
Rob Schneider didn't pull any punches. He came out swinging with a blunt truth bomb aimed at Kimmel and the left. TV shows aren't protected under the Constitution. No matter how loudly the woke mob cries about free speech, that doesn't entitle anyone to a cushy contract on a major network. Rob took it even further, layering in biting sarcasm. Like a sniper with a mic, he reminded them that the First Amendment shields you from government punishment, not from your boss deciding you're bad for business. Bottom line, if you want to rant freely without consequences, you'd better be the one signing the paychecks. Until then, corporate policy rules the day. And Rob made sure the woke crowd got that message, loud, clear, and without apologies.
First. Second, I'm still waiting for the left, the liberals, to get outraged about Roseanne getting fired for her free speech. And then I'm also waiting, I've been waiting a long time for the left and the Democrats, especially the Democrats on Capitol Hill, for the Twitter files that released that the Biden-Harris administration was actually using the government to pressure Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and especially Twitter to actually censor actual Americans through government pressure.
Then Rob hit them with another pointed observation. Where was all this outrage when Roseanne Barr was fired by ABC for her comments about Valerie Jarrett? Nothing but silence. Not a word from the same group now up in arms over Kimmel's exit. Rob wasn't excusing Roseanne's remarks. He openly acknowledged they crossed a line. But he exposed the glaring double standard. If the left had no issue watching ABC boot one of its top stars for saying something offensive, why cry foul now? You can't celebrate someone's downfall when it suits your politics. Then cry injustice when the pendulum swings back. Rob's point landed hard. Standards don't mean anything unless they're applied evenly. Otherwise, it's just political theater. And hypocrisy is the punchline.
Here is you have capitalist pressure. Capitalist pressure is really important because what happens is you have to make money or you have to do something of value so that you can get something in return. Now, the interesting thing is it's false advertising because honestly, look, Jimmy Kimmel can be funny, and I don't mean to take anything away from that. But the fact of the matter, can you remember a political joke that went viral? What was something really funny of his? There was no attempt in humor at all in what he said.
Schneider didn't let up. He reminded everyone how the left once celebrated government pressure on social media giants to clamp down on speech. Remember the Biden-Harris efforts to get content pulled? Or the battle with Elon Musk that led to him buying Twitter outright? And let's not forget Meta, where fact-checkers suppressed or flagged posts deemed problematic. These weren't just flukes. They were systems built and supported by the same people now crying censorship. Rob's not downplaying the harm of misinformation. He's calling out the inconsistency. You can't cheer content policing when your side benefits, then throw a tantrum when it turns against you. The system they helped build just caught one of their own, and Rob made sure they saw the irony.
Matter of fact, it was a lie. Now, as you pointed to, Will, since the 1960s, you have to get a license to broadcast. This isn't Netflix. This isn't cable. This is broadcast TV. And when you have broadcast TV, you have to. The airwaves are owned by the public. And to get that license, you have to be in the interest, like you said, of the public. And so that's why when there's a news van parked in the white zone, they don't get a ticket, because they are there to present news, to inform the public in the public interest. So what happens is 25% originally was supposed to be the news to inform it, to get that license. So when you absolutely lie to the public, then you are no longer in the public interest, like Jimmy Kimmel did the other night.
Then Rob crushed another popular myth, that Jimmy Kimmel's firing was some kind of government takedown. Not even close. Schneider called that narrative a fantasy. In reality, ABC made a simple business call. Executives weren't pleased with Kimmel's comments and chose to protect their brand. That's their right. Rob even pointed out that the FCC wasn't issuing sanctions. At most, it might have asked for an apology. But ABC wasn't interested in a slap on the wrist. They saw Kimmel's remarks as reckless, embarrassing, and damaging to their credibility. So, they acted just like any company would. No deep state plot. No political persecution. Just a network making a business move. Rob's message? Kimmel's words cost him his job, and no one else is to blame.
Actually, it was something dangerous. So with the FCC chairman, he didn't say that he was going to pull the license. He was going to give them a warning and ask for an apology, if what I understood on the Benny Johnson show. And so that's not the government doing it. And when 246 different stations around the country say we're no longer airing this, it's because they heard from their consumers. They heard from their customers. And they said, that's it. We're not doing it. And so Nexstar, who's a great guy over there, Sean Compton, said, that's it. He's the CEO, and said, when we have complaints like this, and none of the channels, 246.
And that's exactly how Jimmy Kimmel ended up here. What started as easy laughs and Trump jokes slowly morphed into something more divisive. At first, it was just comedic jabs. But over time, his show turned into a platform for political commentary, more punditry than punchlines. Kimmel wasn't just telling jokes anymore. He was echoing cable news talking points, reinforcing the same narrow worldview night after night. Debate disappeared. Curiosity vanished. Balance? Gone. Kimmel stopped being a host for everyone and became a spokesperson for one side. That shift didn't just cost him viewers, it cost him his identity as a comedian. When you swap humor for ideology, the crowd eventually walks away.
And I would just like to say this in defense of people who can get absolutely entrapped into this political echo chamber. And that's what happened to, I mean, in my opinion, what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. I heard him talking on some podcast with another comedian, and it's easy to get trapped in your political echo chamber.
Schneider then zoomed out, delivering a broader reminder about media influence. Late-night hosts aren't just telling jokes. They're shaping conversations in millions of homes. With that platform comes serious responsibility. It's not about censoring comedy or playing it safe. It's about serving the wider public, not just one political tribe. When monologues are written to flatter one audience and alienate another, the line between entertainer and propagandist gets blurry. That's when trust erodes. The greats, those who really lasted, critiqued both sides, offered real insight, and made everyone laugh. Balance doesn't mean boring. It means honest. And in today's divided media world, honesty is in short supply.
You're absolutely right about you have to bring value to your employer. You also have to serve, as you pointed out with the FCC's regulation, the public interest. Now, no one denies that you or Jimmy Kimmel can have your opinion, but it's where you use that opinion and on what platform. And there was a time, Rob, when late night hosts seemed to understand that balance a little bit better. And I just wanted to, with you and our viewers, remember together Johnny Carson.
Rob capped his critique with a nod to the late-night legend himself, Johnny Carson. Carson showed us what the format was truly meant to be: fun, light, and welcoming to everyone. He could joke about anything, even politics, without sounding bitter or one-sided. Carson knew the audience wanted to unwind, not be talked down to. But today's landscape is a far cry from that. Most shows have become political echo chambers, where every monologue sounds like a campaign speech, usually aimed at Donald Trump. Predictable, repetitive, and often humorless. The result? Viewers aren't laughing, they're tuning out. Carson united the country. Today's hosts split it down the middle. No wonder late night feels like it belongs to another era.
Think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues. That's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And you know, strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people, and I don't think you should as an entertainer.
In the end, Rob Schneider's takedown of Jimmy Kimmel wasn't just a roast. It was a wake-up call. He exposed how selective outrage, political tribalism, and inconsistent standards have hollowed out the entertainment world. Rob reminded us that free speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences, especially on someone else's platform. He called out the silence over Roseanne Barr and the outrage over Kimmel, revealing the hypocrisy hiding beneath it all. He pointed to how the left once cheered censorship mechanisms that have now backfired. And looming over it all, the ghost of Johnny Carson, a reminder of what late night used to be: funny, fair, and for everyone. That's the real lesson behind all this. And that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this.